Hello everyone, George Packard, Family Lawn and Landscape, and today we're going to talk about your spring checklist, the things that you should be doing today to make sure you're ready to go in the spring. Things you don't want to wait for. To begin with, your advertising. Advertising should be done way in advance, way ahead of time. You should not be waiting in the springtime to jump out, get in your truck, and take off and do your landscaping or lawn care or plumbing or whatever your business is. All your advertising needs should have been taken care of in the wintertime. That's when almost everyone's work is slow, where you guys have time to concentrate on that stuff, and that's what you need to work on. So, first and foremost, every door direct mailers. That's something we use, and we've had success with it. So, that's something, if you don't have it set up right now you could be going through looking at, okay, I want to change them because I didn't have great success maybe with this one, so I want to change a few other things. So go on YouTube, start studying every door direct mailers, postcards, things of that nature, so you can look at them and see how other people are doing them, and then you can adapt that to your company and you can promote the certain things that you're promoting. For example, let's say in the springtime, everybody's making their big push for lawn care, right? Everybody's going to push for that and try and get that. Okay. Well, what about when it's time when the ants come out? If you do ant treatment, you could have every door direct mailer for taking care of that. You could be handing it out. You could fertilization, weed control, shrub trimming, tree trimming. There's always certain times of the year that it's best to do those types of things. So if you gear your every door direct mailings towards that type of stuff, that's going to help you out. So that being said, door hangers are another thing that we use. And guys, when I say door hangers, the door hangers we used to use, they would clip right on. Wish I had one here with me. I don't at this facility, but anyway, they hang right on the doorknob. Well, the problem with those things, you can get them cheap, but they tend to blow off, And what I found way better is the postcards. Just get the smaller, 6x6 postcard, and you can just slide that in all the cracks of the doors. So that's something I use, and we'll talk about those as we go on. I'm going to do a separate video on each one of these things. So, but you should make sure that you have all your door hangers. When I say door hangers, go with the postcards. They're better. Don't mail them. Just take them and hang them in the doors. You just slide them in the cracks of the doors. They just stay there way better than a typical door hanger, okay? So, make sure you have enough of those on hand. Your vehicle wraps. Now, this is something that I know a lot of you guys haven't done. Even if your truck, if you can't afford to have an actual wrap put on your truck to make it really look nice and professional, then at least get some lettering on your truck. Some sort of branding, some sort of name recognition you want to have in those neighborhoods. So your whole goal is to build on those neighborhoods that you're in, to make that money. You want to, if you're in there, you got a job on that street, you're in there to own that street. So, and this is not me, this is Lawn Care Millionaire Jonathan Potoshnik that mentioned that, and he's absolutely right. To make money, you need to be stacking these accounts up like cordwood. When you go down the street, you want 5, 6, 10 houses on that street. That's your ultimate goal. So that way you make more money, but that's a whole nother video. So anyway, business cards. Make sure you got enough business cards on hand. They're cheap, you can get them for $10 for a box of 500 of them, So get an Office Depot or wherever you go for your printing supplies. But anyway, the Everdoor direct mailers, that's something else I can help you guys out with. I do have a contact for that. Does a good job and all that kind of stuff. So if you need him, let me know down below and I'll hook you up with him for that. It is a good advertising tool. So moving on, your yard signs. Now that's another thing I use, and I use those especially for landscaping. So, and here's what I do with those. I'll take my sides, and I have these big signs made up, and they're in a big steel frame, and they're pretty fancy looking. I'm gonna have to show you guys those. Again, I don't have them at this facility, but regardless, when I do a landscape project, that's the first thing that goes up is that sign. And I'll leave that sign there as long as that customer will let me. And most of the time, they'll let you leave that sign there most of the summer. And that's great, because then when people drive by and if they see that beautiful retaining wall you did or that paver patio, that sign is still in your yard. Even if you tell them, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll knock $100 off your bill if you let me put this sign in your yard for the rest of the year. You just made a deal with them. That advertising on that sign is worth a lot more than $100 a year that you just knocked off the bill. And if you need to, put it in there when you do your estimate. Put it in there automatically. Jack it up $100. Say, look, I'm going to need this. I want this for covering. I want to cover that sign. So I'm going to put it in there. That's good advertising for you. And eventually, the more your signs are seen around, the more people see your trucks, That's brand recognition. So then all of a sudden, when it is time to find a new lawn care guy or a new landscape company, someone to come in and do their work for them, they recognize your name. So all of a sudden, you may have put that flyer on their door, 4 or 5 times already, and you never got a response, but suddenly your name means something because they see it all over the place, okay? So remember that. All right, you want to make sure, and my number one thing, of course, is websites. Everybody knows that I'm a big fan of the websites. Want to make sure that's set up way in advance. So you don't want to be coming out there trying to do a website in the spring and expect that everything's going to be beautiful and perfect and running for you, because it doesn't work like that. You need to get those websites done now so that they have months to work to grow in Google so they can get you ranked better. So you need to be on that stuff right away, okay? These are all things you need to do now before the spring gets here. So that being said, equipment ready. Want to get that equipment ready. Don't want to be monkeying around at the last minute trying to get everything done. All your stick equipment, you guys should be going through all that stuff, respooling them, taking out the old line, chucking it, making sure you got enough line there, making sure that you got enough oil for your gas. You don't want to be running to the store to buy mixed oil. You should have that stuff sitting on a shelf somewhere ready to go so that you can mix it and go. You need to make sure that all your equipment, you have extra plugs for it. Extra rip cords in case you go through them, like a lot of my guys do on the blowers. They just rip them right off of there. But things like that, you need to have all that kind of stuff going. Your hedge trimmers, those should all be sharpened up. They should be ready to go. They should be cleaned up. If there was any problems with them last year that should have been fixed and you didn't have time to do it, now's the time to do it. You need to get it done now. Don't wait. Let's get through all your stick equipment. Make sure you got backup stick equipment if you can afford it, because the downtime is a killer. So there's nothing better than having an extra couple of weed whackers sitting in the shop, and even if they're your older ones, they're sitting in the shop but they still run. There's your emergency backups right there. Don't throw them away. They still work. Obviously, you're going to keep using them. So keep them in the shop. There's your emergency backups, and you will run across times when you need them. You don't want to be down when you do need them. You want to be able to grab them and go and get back out in the field and get that work done. That being said, your mowers. You got to get into the mowers, tear those apart right away. At the end of the year for me, late in the fall after the leaves are all done, I strip those mowers down. I do everything. I grease them, I oil them, I change the blades up, I change all the filters, I change the hydros on them. I go through everything on those mowers so that they're 100% ready to go. I make sure I have the belts that I need for every mower. I'll go into the shop, make sure I have an extra set of belts in that truck. In every truck, there's extra sets of belts for those mowers. So when they break down in the field, they can change it themselves. They're not calling me to come and have to change it for them, because that's just a big waste of my time and a waste of their time, because they're sitting there doing nothing waiting for me to get there. That's ridiculous. That can't happen. Never let that happen. Spend the extra $100, buy a set of those belts, throw them in the truck and leave them sit there. They're ready to go. And you inform your people that when those belts are replaced, they are to notify you that day that they replace those belts. That way you can get new ones ordered in and you're never caught without them. Okay? All right. Trucks and trailers. Same thing. Go through your trucks, whip through them, clean them, do everything that you wanted to do in the summer but you couldn't because you were too damn busy. Go through them in the wintertime, clean them out, do the brakes on them, make sure they're ready to go. Brakes are something that people hate to do, and you never want to monkey with them. They're not that hard to do. So I definitely recommend you going through those brakes in the wintertime. So come spring, you got brand new ones on there and you don't have downtime when it's time to get out and bust your ass. Okay? All right, that being said, trailers, same thing. One of the things that I do with my trailers, I soak them down with used motor oil. I take it from all my oil changes, and I keep treating my timbers on those trailers, on my decking. I treat them every year, and I treat them 2-3 times a year on rain days. I'll bring the guys in the shop. I've got more used oil everywhere from the trucks. Just have the guys keep coating those trailers down. Them things last forever. I mean, my trailers just last and last and last. It's because I take care of them. I repaint them every year, and I re-oil them every year. So that's something you guys should try to make sure you do too, okay? Go through the lights. If you had any problems with them, make sure all your lighting's good, your connections are good, and that way come spring, you're good to go. You hop in it, hook on, and down the road you are making money. Wintertime, when you're sitting on your ass, you ain't making any money. Summer, you better hump your ass and make money. So you want to make sure you're ready to go with all these things. That being said, paperwork, contracts. Make sure you have your contracts with you. Make sure you have your change orders with you. I had to set it up in such a way where, because I'm in so many different vehicles all the time, I've got like 5 different sets of books, and each one of them contains a notebook, so I can show customers pictures of all our hardscape, softscape projects, all that kind of stuff. And then I also have all of the contracts in there, change orders, because they're always wanting to make change orders. That's something I should do a video on too, about the contracts. I think I'll do that. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want me to do some more stuff with the contracts and whatnot. I can bring them in and show you what we do. So, but the contracts need to be ready, change orders, your photographs, all the photographs that you took, whether it was with your phone or a camera or anything. In the wintertime, you should be taking those, adding them to your notebooks, or printing them off and putting them in binders so that you can show your customers the work that you have done, okay? Or if you have them on your website, it's really cool there, because then no matter where you are, you don't even have to have a notebook in each truck then. You can pull it up on your phone and say, well, okay, look at this. I'm going to go right to my website. I'm going to hit my gallery, and all my pictures are right here. And you can just flip your camera sideways, start flipping through them, showing the people all the cool stuff that you have and everything that you did. And then you flip back to the beginning, and maybe you want to flip back a little bit farther, or you could just keep going back to the beginning. But I would probably go to the end, but maybe I wouldn't go to the end. I might just go all the way back to the beginning. How do you feel about that? I don't even know why I do some of those things. But anyway, so if you have it on your website, if you have a really good website, and you put all your pictures on there, no matter where you are, you're always going to have your phone on you. So if you have your phone on you, see, I could have used that as a prop. I could have just brought the phone up and said, hey, this is what we do. These are my pictures. I don't want to get back into that. Targeting your area. You need to have a strategy, and that should all be developed during the wintertime. You guys should be thinking about, where do I want to go with my door hangers? Where do I want to put those things out? Where's my Every Door Direct mailers going to go? Okay? All of those things make a difference. Like for me, for example, and I'm going to talk about the Every Door Direct mailers and stuff too down the line here a little bit, but for me, I look at areas where I know there's no soliciting, where I know they're not going to let us in there. It's usually these very rich neighborhoods. Those are the ones I'm going to target with those type mailings, okay? Excuse me. So I want to do that for those type of things because I can't get in there. Putting them out myself with their little segues, absolutely. I mean, those are the areas that the other areas that don't bar soliciting, those are the areas I'm going to concentrate with them. I'm also going to concentrate on wherever we're at with our mowers, whatever street we're on, as long as we can hand them out in that neighborhood, I'm going to hop on that Segway and zip them out. We're going to pound those neighborhoods all year long, not just once in a while. All right, so that being said, make sure you got enough uniforms. I can't tell you how many times we've come across it where all of a sudden we have new guys we're bringing in and we don't have any uniforms for them. And it's like, well, well, go down to the local trailer park. You'll see nothing but purple shirts because that's all my old employees down there, it seems like. But regardless, that was a joke, but actually it wasn't a joke. It's actually reality, it's true. So anyway, what was I going to say? Okay, yeah, so you get your uniforms done, but even advertising for employees, make sure, just to wrap this whole thing up now, make sure the advertising for your employees goes all the time. Same thing, you can put this on your website. You can let people know that you're always looking for talented people to come and work with you in landscaping or lawn care. Always let them know you're looking. You should have your Craigslist ads all set up, ads that you put on Indeed.com. Any of these things, they should be all set up ahead of time. So all you've got to do is copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. You don't have any time when spring gets here. You hit the ground with it running. So you don't have time to monkey around and do all these little things. You need to have them all set up and ready to go ahead of time. So that was the purpose for this video. Whew, dang, man. So this has been George Packard, Family Lawn and Landscape. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me your comments down below. And if you're out there to try and grow your business, you're the person that I want to reach. You're the guy I want to talk to. Because this channel is all about helping you grow your business. And if you like this video, subscribe. View some of the other ones we've got. I think you'd be happy. Well, maybe you won't be happy, but at least you'll learn something. Well, maybe you won't learn anything either, but at least, well, just subscribe. Thanks. I think I have attention deficit disorder. I don't doubt that one bit. I do believe I have that. As a matter of fact, I should do a video on that. But I would get lost. I would forget what I was talking about. So I got to get back to this and stay focused. So we have the change orders we talked about. We talked about the pictures. What else did we talk about?